We are
All
live.
right, ladies and gentlemen, we are live.
What?
So, good evening, everybody. Hope you haven't missed this. It's been about what 2 weeks now since we've done this. It feels kind
Yeah.
of weird. It feels kind of off, with daylight savings time and everything else. So, once again, it's Wednesday night, 10 p.m. Eastern. Here with Team in the Black. I am Matt Dillingham. Here, joined tonight with Matthew Haas
Yeah, buddy. What's up,
and
everybody? How
John
you doing?
Reed.
Hey everybody, it's going to be a fun night. We got some good stuff for you guys tonight. Fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
tonight's gonna be very different than most things we've covered because this weekend we had the Epic Story Academy event down in Broomfield, Colorado, and that event was no, babe, not epic, but definitely one that I will always remember. Same thing with Max because him and I had two huge breakthroughs, which we'll go over tonight, and really like learning how powerful when you learn the art of storytelling and how that works and how that really drives the message home. And really, if that's all you do, you can have success in virtually almost anything you do. So tonight you hear from me, hear from Max, at the end hear from John. He's got something special at the end to share with everyone else. But really, this weekend was, I mean, I'm still kind of like in awe about it. And if you see my posts, you see me do things more of a story format, kind of, really engage you, gets your attention. That's really what people draw in. But with that being said, Max, you want to go first and share, kind of like what you learned and what you expected and just how the weekend had changed you.
Yeah, hold on. Actually, you guys are going to watch me. I'm going to go downstairs because
Oh, this is gonna
it's
be fun.
super hot up here. And I've been watching the kids take baths to make sure that they're A-okay. So anyway, how's everybody doing on this wonderful Wednesday? Happy
Well,
hump day.
no.
Get the tour. A little tour of the house going on here as I go downstairs. So just to share this with you guys, here, if you guys want to see some cool stuff, these are the paintings that I hang on my wall. My kids do some cool art, right? Am I still live? Am I freezing up? That's my wife's painting. That's her tree. Right. All right. So back downstairs. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Okay. So the and I'm just gonna say this, guys. Like I know for everybody, like listen, it costs. This is what I realized, and I'm gonna share some cool stuff with you here, and come on, man, sit down. So basically, like when there's a thing about just like paying for products and stuff and like going through them because it was funny because Travis was it Regan is that his last name from Empower. Travis was there, right? And he's a hilariously funny guy, and he was going over basically some stuff, and one of the things that he said that really kind of blew my mind was like um, he's like he had gone through the product basically two times already, and he'd gotten it like literally a couple days beforehand because that's what he gets. That's what he does. He's basically like test products for people and sees just kind of sees if it works. You know what I mean? Sees if it's something that's marketable. He basically makes sure that it's something that it can add value and it is worth the investment for customers and companies pay him to basically like more or less like go over their product. And what he said was pretty much it was just pretty funny because like a lot of people like you buy stuff and you don't really go through it. And the point of what I'm trying to say is this: is that like when opportunities like this happen, to kind of like especially like small like group opportunities, like intimate opportunities where like you get to like network with people and like really like learn from people, like you should really jump on them because this was pretty mind blowing. Like this whole event just to basically get some one-on-one time with guys that are earning six figures and seven figures because Aaron ended up showing up there and I mean Avery and Nikki were there and it was a great event in general and the one it was just what's funny is like I was thinking about it. I was like I really want to go over like some of the stuff that we learned there but it's like if you don't actually own the stuff it's gonna not really like make a lot of sense but what what I want to reiterate is this, that basically you need to figure out your niche. You need to figure out your target market. Like this is unbelievably like just crucial to your success. I mean, whether offline, online, whatever. If you're gonna like market and you want to make money online, you have to understand your target market. You have to understand who you're working with, and you have to understand like who you're going to connect with really. And it's not just about copy paste, like just following what other people are doing who are getting results. Because I know when I first got online, like, you know, that's pretty much what you do. You just kind of like emulate people's successes, right? You kind of see what other people are doing. If they're making money and if they're having results, you basically like you follow them. You're going to try to like copy paste or just like do whatever they're doing. But the thing with that, and this was a lot of what like Chris was talking about, was basically like you can't duplicate another person. You know what I mean? Like you can kind of you can even duplicate content. You can basically copy paste and do everything that they're doing, but it ends up it comes across as fake, you know, and people can read through that. And the crazy thing about the internet and everything else is just like, regardless of what you like your marketing or anything, it's just like you have to genuinely just be genuine. You know, you have to be you if you want to be successful. And this goes for any type of sales business, goes for anything. You can't get caught up in, you know, trying to be somebody that you're not. You know what I mean? Because people can see through that. People can read through that. And I know we've been like covering this for weeks on end, but it's like you've got to basically figure out what you're really passionate about, figure out what you're really all about. Yeah, but. Okay. Yeah, I'll turn it on for you. And anyway, this is like a normal interruption for every one of these, but
pattern interrupt.
Yeah, absolute pattern interrupt, and it's the cutest pattern interrupter in the world, so it's not a big deal. But guys, basically, it's just like don't get so caught up in judging or just kind of like you know, comparing your success to other people, because I know like everybody kind of progresses at their own rate, you know, and everybody kind of and everybody, and this is another thing too. If you look at what everybody's doing, you know, the people are having like massively huge results. I don't think one of them is really doing the same exact thing as the other person. You know, each one of them is kind of connecting with people that they vibe with. They're connecting with people that like them. They're connecting with people that, you know, basically like, you know, just kind of feel that other person. And that's really the most important thing. It's like just get real. You know, I remember I had quite a few people tell me like, you shouldn't curse so much in your videos, or you should, you know, wear something. You know, I've had people critique my stuff, and I'm just like, but I'm not doing this for everybody. You know, I'm not shooting a video, or I'm not putting up I'm not doing a blog post to basically like impress everybody, because I know that I'm not going to impress everybody, like first and foremost. You know, but I am going to connect with people that go, man, this guy's cool, or man, I feel the same way, or whatever. So it's like don't try to market for everyone. You know what I'm saying? Market for the people that market for yourself. You know, and that's really what it is. You know, if you're yes. Go watch. Turn it on. I'll be right there. I love you. Okay, good. I'll be right there. So that's pretty much what I'm saying. You know, and this is, you know, I can't filter this out. You know, I could try to come across as this, but you know, I can get the whole point across, and you get that, Daddy, you know, and this is me. This is the life I live now. So it's like, but genuinely, it's just like get really real with yourself, and you know, it's basically it's like just don't be fake. You know, don't be fake. People can see through that. People read right through that, and it's like, you know, and even online, you know, in person, online, you know, people you're meeting, people can see that, people can read that, and it's like if everything's not congruent, you know, if your Facebook post and your ad copy and your other stuff, you know, because people can easily Google search you and whatever, and if you're talking about, yeah, man, I'm this, I'm that, I'm this and that, and then like, you know, on your Facebook post, you're putting like, man, I'm, you know, and I don't think anybody in this group really does any dumb stuff like that, where like you're talking about your opportunity 1 second, how much money you can make, and then you're like, man, I got to pay bills. You know, because that's just really bad marketing. But I do see people doing that, and I always chuckle to myself, and I was like, you wonder why you're not getting results. But you know, but basically, just get real, guys. Like, just get real. You know, don't try to make videos, or don't do copy for anybody else. You know, do it for yourself. Do it really to practice being the best you that you can be. that's pretty much what I'm going to say about that. And I think I got some other stuff I want to cover later. But um, yeah, I mean that's basically the gist of it. You know what I'm saying?
Cool. Yeah. So, and real quick, so if there are any of you guys out there that don't have the Epic Story Funnel, contact one of us, and we'll get you hooked up. But here's the thing. This product is mind-blowing, and I think a lot of you guys know that I went out to Vegas in November. I think that's when that was, and spent some time with Vic at his mastermind, and that was very valuable too. And that was actually kind of reiterated tonight in another hangout I was on tonight with him. But the thing is that, and I told Chris Rushlow this, when I had a chance to actually go through this product, it blew my mind. It actually changed my entire perspective about how to sell in this business and the things that I've actually been doing wrong for a long time. And so, you know, that's how valuable this product is. And then this weekend, essentially, what we were able to do was they gave us some handouts. We were able to kind of get much clearer on exactly how to put this story together. But there's one thing, and Matt will talk to you guys about this a little bit too. But it's very clear after talking to Chris, after working through this, after working with Vic, that in order to stand out, you have to create your own funnel. And we rely too much and too heavily on everybody else's stuff that they've created. And I'm talking about funnels like Empower Network, like iPass, whatever. And so, and to give you a mind-blowing stat, all right, this is going to just blow your socks off. And this can transfer to, you know, the Epic Story Funnel or anything else. Vic Strysus, and I was telling these guys before we got on, he likes competitive products. So all of you guys know that iPass is highly competitive, Empower Network's highly competitive. You know, there's lots of products out there that have a lot of people promoting them, right? He likes that. And it was pretty interesting to hear him say that tonight. But the reason he likes that is because statistically, 99% of the people are going to do exactly what most of us have been doing, and that's driving traffic to the iPass funnel directly, to the Empower Network funnel directly. And what he does is he creates his own funnel. It's like a pre-frame funnel, and it has, you know, it's either a long form, you know, kind of sales process, which is a lot of what we learned in the Epic Story Funnel, or it's a, you know, a 3 or 4 video process. But essentially what he's doing is he's educating people, providing them value on what internet marketing really is and what the challenges are, and then he basically helps funnel them into the product so that by the time they get to the actual sales video, in our case for iPass or Empower Network, they're ready to go, right? They're already pre-framed. They understand what the challenges are. They understand, and you've built trust with them, so they know that this is a product that they can use. So they're expecting to buy. So here are his stats. He said, in most cases, and I think you guys, you know, have experienced this directly, you know, where most marketers are getting 1%, 2%, or 3% conversions in a system funnel, he's getting 30%. 30%. That's incredible. Those are, I mean, think about that for a second. That's 10 to 30 times higher than most marketers. That's just, it's mind-blowing. So, and obviously the results that he's been able to achieve show that what that success looks like. So the point of all of this is that we need to start, and if you guys haven't already started doing this, you need to start building your own funnel based around your story, based around the challenges of the business, based around what you see as the problems and the solutions in this business, what your discovery was, and you need to start marketing to the people who resonate with you. And that's basically what Max was talking about earlier, is that you need to be yourself, you need to be genuine, and you need to resonate with the people that you want to attract to your business. And the other thing is that you got to be thinking about, who do you want to attract. You don't want to attract people that are they're dedicated employees, right? They just have no interest in building a business. And we've seen that. There's people that get into these trials. They can barely afford a $1 trial or a $7 trial or whatever. That's just nuts. You don't want to be attracting those kinds of people. And it's okay if those people come into your funnel, and your funnel specifically tries to filter them out, right? So, and there's ways that you can do that, obviously. You can say in your videos, as part of your funnel process, that this is not for everybody. And if you don't have, X amount of money to build a business, then you really shouldn't continue on in the process. That's fine. And I think that a lot of us are really afraid to do that. And so I really encourage you guys to sit down and start thinking about a process that you can put together that will create a change in the way that you market. Because the fact is that most successful people in this business are driving people to something. And we've been talking a lot about pre-frame videos and those kinds of things. That's kind of the process. But a pre-frame video, and this is one thing that I can tell you that Chris Rushlow's opinion of using a PowerPoint presentation similar to kind of what they were training us a couple weeks ago on the Empower Network sort of pre-frame process. He believes that that is something that just won't sustain for the long term. He believes that that's something that shouldn't really be used. Now, the reason, obviously, that they put that content out there is to just get people to do something, right? But his point is that it needs to be personalized to you. And so that pre-frame video should be of you, not of some kind of PowerPoint presentation. And I think that was really valuable. That was very, very valuable feedback. And so you guys need to start thinking about that, and start thinking about a different way of marketing the affiliate offers that you're trying to go after. Now, obviously we've seen a lot of changes in the iPass funnel. And I think that's going to be super valuable. I think when that thing launches next week, we're going to see much better conversions. But much better conversions, remember, if you guys were like me, your conversion rate was more like 0.5%. I mean, I don't think I ever got much above 1% conversions on any traffic that I ran to that. And so if by creating your own funnel, using your own story with your personality, attracting the people that you want to come into your business, helps you convert even double. Think about that. That makes paid traffic so much more attractive and so much more valuable as part of the process. I mean, that's my biggest thing about traffic, is that it has to have a return on investment. And this was a missing piece for me for a long time, and I had this conversation with Vic last year. I said, am I wrong in thinking this? That when you buy traffic and you send traffic to an offer, that it should have a return on investment within 30 days or whatever? He said no. But my experience is I haven't been able to do that. Well, here's where I was making the mistake. I was driving traffic to the system funnel, and that's the wrong process. We have to create our own personal funnels and drive traffic to that. And that's where the conversions will happen. And those are the customers that you want to attract to your business because they're going to resonate with who you are and what your story is. So that was, that's been part of this Epic Funnel process for me over the last, 3 weeks. And this weekend was just basically a reiteration of everything that we had been doing, along with some additional valuable tips. And Chris actually was kind enough to go into one of his very specific funnels that he generated. I don't know what was the max, something like 75% of his business came from this.
He said that one post, one funnel basically made him $70,000. Results not typical. Okay, we got to say that, but basically one specific funnel made him over $70,000.
Yep.
And it wasn't and what was really funny is he was basically going through the whole thing and breaking it all down. And it wasn't a perfect funnel. I mean, like, the capture page was hideous. Like, it was, there were a lot of, like, there were even some, like, typos in there or whatever. And, like, it wasn't a perfect funnel, but it told a great story, and it connected him with the people that were reading it. And you know what I mean? And it was congruent throughout the whole thing. It wasn't him going like, yo, Chris Russell, and then like, well, let me talk to you about the business. And then it was like, hey, join now. It was congruent throughout the entire thing. It was basically like, this is me, this is what I'm doing, this is what I got, this is and this is what I learned, and it was basically everything about him. And it wasn't even so much like results related. It was more like, this is the breakthrough that I had, and this is why I'm putting this out there. So if you need to, if you're looking for something like this is why you should join with me. You know what I mean? But so much clarity in it. It wasn't a whole lot of hype. It wasn't a whole lot of sales talk, whatever. It was just like, guys, it basically is like, I'm a normal person. I go through, I've gone through some stuff, and this is the breakthrough that I had, and because of this breakthrough, I now have been able to make a 6-figure income, per year because of this. And it was just a great story in and of itself. But I mean, it wasn't perfect. It wasn't like this. It wasn't. You could tell he put it together himself. And that.
And it had incredible engagement, incredible. Yeah. I mean, he showed us the numbers. It was crazy good. So that was, that's what we're talking about with this Epic Funnel, with building your own funnel, whatever. I mean, truly, you guys, I think the product was $495, $497, whatever. That was like some of the best money I've ever spent in this business, absolutely, bar none, period. And I'm not here to sell you guys on that. I'm just here to tell you that you need to think about your marketing a much different way, because it's now clear from Chris, from Vic, from other people, that they do the reason they have success is because they do things different. And I actually learned this lesson. It's kind of crazy, but I learned this lesson. Investing. I've done a lot of online investing. Investing my own accounts. And one of the lessons that they tell you and teach you is don't follow the herd. The herd always goes over the cliff, right? The herd always is wrong in the end. So you need to go against the grain, do something different, do what other people are not doing to help differentiate yourself and to help get the conversion numbers much higher. I guarantee you, if you had conversion numbers just at 3 to 4 to 5% in the iPass funnel, 80 cent a click traffic is nothing. It is. So, we got to start thinking about it from that perspective. So that's what I'm going to be doing. Basically, for the next 2 to 3 weeks, I'm going to be shooting a ton of videos. I'm going to be setting up. I'm going I'm using ClickFunnels. So if you guys are using or looked at ClickFunnels is a product that basically allows you to create these kinds of funnels. And so that's the product I'm going to be using to create this. And I'm going to put together, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 separate funnels, and I'm going to test them and see what works better. And that's what it's all about. But it's going to take some time, and it's something that you've got to sit down and put some thought to. But you need to do this. Believe me, you've got to do this right away. So, Matt, you got anything?
Of course. When don't I have something? I mean, as been said, people, it comes down to this. The reason why the stories are so powerful when it's yours is because that's what people are relating to. They're seeing you as a person. They're seeing the struggles and challenges you've gone through. They're basically seeing that you are a real person, and they can relate to that because as you're telling your story, they are at the same time going back and pushing in their mind the stuff that they've been through, and they connect with you on that level and go, oh my God, this person's just like me. They've went through X amount of challenges. And the thing about it is that it doesn't matter what you've been through. When you talk about challenges as someone's telling a story, you may not be consciously aware of it, but you actually go back and think about times you've gone through, times that are tough, when you struggle, your ups, your downs, and when someone talks about where they've been through, what they've been through, and especially if it's worse than what you've gone through, you totally connect with that. And one thing I learned about this weekend, I got tons of clarity. That was the biggest message for me, and really to keep things very simple. Because here's the thing that I understand that you've heard from us, you've heard from every leader in anything on the internet marketing world. They always say, stand out, be unique, put yourself, sell yourself, be you. And I always wonder, like, how can I be me? I've always tried to put myself in videos and things like that, and nothing was working. The way that you're going to stand out from anyone else on this planet, hands down, bar none, 100% guaranteed, is your story. Period. And why is that? Because no one else has lived the life you've lived. No one's had the experience you've had. No one has been you. That's it. I mean, it's really how everyone else doing it. They'll start with their story, a funnel. That's what brings people into it because they get to know, like, and trust you through that. But at the same time, as you're writing your story, it's not about you. It's also about them. As you're talking about your story, the things that you want to have, other people want too. They see that, they attach to that, and therefore they can relate to you. And then from there, they will end up pretty much buying from you, which is how you stand out. And here's the thing about writing your story. I worked with Rushlow, and he taught this before and wasn't the best teacher in the beginning. And after working with him now and going through his product, it makes it a lot simpler to write it. And when you write your story, the first time you're going to do it, and this is okay, it's going to be very long because you're going to want to condense. You're going to want to put everything you've been through in your life, and that's fine. Do that the first time, but after it's done, just cut out all the points that you want to include because your story isn't just going to be one story. You're going to have multiple stories. It all comes down to tying your story to whatever niche you're going after, as Max said earlier. It's really what it comes down to. But this weekend was this incredible weekend for me because I came there wanting to know how to take this to a bigger level. And my moment came when I was sitting down. This was Sunday afternoon. Max was a Sunday afternoon, I think, around that time. I'm sitting there, and Chris is going to a store. He showed us his store, which I saw that ad like 2 years ago. I'm sitting there because like I said before, I wanted to get clarity, and the whole point of this weekend was to keep things simple. I sat down. He's talking about this one thing, this one line in his story where he said, "I want to have the financial freedom to do what I want whenever I want." As he said that, he said that's a values clarification, values benefits. And the values benefits basically, for those, to make it simple, all it is painting a picture of what someone can be. And as he said that, my mind lit up, and I went, "Wait, are you kidding me?" And just that one sentence that's vague, it's not specific at all. It's just saying having the financial freedom to do what I want whenever I want. When you say that in your story, stuff like that, people latch on to that because they're picturing themselves and who they want to be, who they could be. My mind blew up. I stood up. I was like, "Are you kidding me? You gotta be. This is bullshit. Like, this is just it's just that simple." And that big breakthrough was was totally worth the 2 days I was there to realize that this is simple. It's not complicated, and that really telling your story is all that matters. That's it. Like, nothing else that comes out is gonna stay the same. Like, doesn't matter if it's a new dark post training, the new Twitter training, any strategy that comes out this week can be outdated the following week, and then something else, something else. Your story is what matters, because storytelling is like the oldest thing in the book since, I don't know, the time of Jesus and everything else. Like in the Bible, people do it to this day. Because here's the thing: when you tell a story, you remember the story and the point, versus if you just tell the strategy and tactics, which you forget. And that will not change from here until the end of time. So once you know what your story is, use it over and over and over again to get people to join with you, because, like I said before earlier, that's what they latch on to. And really, this weekend is keeping things simple, because Chris, all he does primarily is tell stories. He creates a funnel for one target market, tells a story, tests it, makes sure it works, goes to the next one. That's it. That's all he does. Instead of having to jump from this strategy and this capture page and this capture page, and now we're gonna use this web copy. You can't do that. People know when people are not being authentic. Just be yourself, know your story, and master that, and people join you for you. That's really how people join you for you. It's through your story, nothing else. That's all I got.
I think you pretty much hit it.
Cool.
Because and I'll just recap this. Um, I don't want to talk too much about it, but I've been like kind of chit chatting back and forth with a pretty high level person, and one of the things that I got from that conversation was basically there is a perfect customer out there for you, you know, and the only way you're going to connect with that perfect customer, and it's a lot like what John was saying too, because I think we've all been there where you get the. I mean, if you're doing the iPass thing, like, I mean, I've had guys cancel after $1 sign up, and I'm just like, how can you not, you know, afford $1 online? And it's not really. I mean, sometimes it's them, sometimes it's whatever, but it's like there's a perfect customer there is a perfect customer out there, okay? And what you have to figure out is who is your perfect customer. You know, who do you want to deal with? Who do you want to work with? Who would you like to help teach, train, develop, and basically like grow your business with? And that's what you got to realize, because there are so many, you know, guys, there's 3 billion people online right now. You know what I mean? You actually have the ability to pick and choose who you work with. You know, and a lot of times, you know, it's like you get so caught up in the I just want to do sales, I want to do sales, I want to do sales, I want to do conversions. You know, I want to make money, that you lose, because I've seen this happen like with a lot of people, where it's like you churn and burn people, you know, because you're not really connecting to them, you're not really connecting with them, you know, and the worst type of person to actually like have working with you or you know, signing up with you is somebody that's like utterly desperate, and you know, it's just like, oh, I don't know how to do anything, I don't, you know, whatever, but I want to make $1 million tomorrow, but I have no money to invest. You know, and I think we've all met plenty of those people out there, and it becomes more of a time suck, you know what I mean, and like an energy suck than anything, compared to and don't get me wrong, man, some of those people turn out to be pretty awesome, but I mean, the majority of them, you know, are literally just they're gonna drain a whole lot of energy. They're gonna want a bunch of free, you know, free coaching and free time and free evaluation stuff, And then like if they don't see results in like 3-4 days, I mean, what's the industry standard? I think it's 47 days. If they don't see results right away, they're going to quit. You know what I mean? And there goes all the time and effort that you put into them. So it's like, so you can basically find somebody who is, you know, aware of all the, you know, the learning curve and everything else, to where like they don't just, they're not going to come into it blind. You know what I mean? They're not going to come into it looking at you as like, you know, their absolute savior who's going to, you know, help them, you know, become supremely rich online. You know, because they're having so many success stories, but at the same time, it's like, you know, the majority of most people that get in online, like, you know, saying don't do a damn thing, and it's because, you know, they refuse to go through the products, they refuse to actually learn, they refuse to develop, they refuse to grow, you know, and basically like do the work really, and that's kind of what it is, you know. It's all this stuff that we're talking about here, guys. It's not. I just know this. Like I'm dedicated to not just like mastering this, but like mastering everything else that I do in life that I'm really passionate about. Like you have to be a student of the game. You know, you have to be a student of like, you know, if you want to be successful, like yes, you want to like emulate and model yourself around people's successes, but at the same time, you kind of have to find your own success. You know, you have to basically more in a certain sense, it's like you've got to be your own superhero. You know what I mean? It's like there's you see, oh, man, it was a really great commercial where it was you know, like a dad and his son, and like the guy was like walking around with a cape on because his kid had a cape, where it's like, you know, in a sense, it's like you want to separate yourself from what everybody else is doing. You know, and if you, and like I said before, it's like all the really kick-ass marketers out there, all the really successful people, not one of them is a clone of the other one. You know, if anything, each one of them has their own unique personality traits, their own unique story, their own unique, you know, just kind of just like who they are, because that's really what people connect with. There is no Dave Wood clone. You know what I mean? There is no Vic Stricios clone. There, you know, there is no Rush Lowe clone. You know, each person, you know, the top 200, all those guys, each one of them is completely different. You know, which in a sense may seem a little confusing, but when you actually step back, like there, that really is the power in what you have, because it's like you don't have to be a clone of one of them. If anything, it's like you can kind of just get a little hybrid taste of like what everybody else is doing and create your own, you know, and be the success that you want to be. You know, but you have to literally just like don't be afraid to step into that. Don't be afraid to just kind of, you know, push into that, because it is that simple. You know, it is that simple, and it's just like whatever it is, you know. It's just get busy. You know what I mean? Get busy, start doing it, and you know, stop thinking so much about, you know, well, what will people think? What will people say? You know, this and this and that. It's not about that. You know what I mean? It's about you getting comfortable. You know, basically doing the videos, doing the work, doing the posts, doing the marketing. Because if you don't do it yourself, how are you going to teach people how to do it? You know, one of the coolest things about these hangouts, and this is actually why I feel like really you know, fortunate enough to have linked up with John and Matt and everybody else, is because like, you know, when I first got online, like I didn't know, like I knew a lot about sales, but I didn't know a lot about actual quote unquote marketing. You know, but like jumping on these hangouts and doing these live presentations in front of a camera where I don't know how many people are actually watching this, you know, but who cares? You know, if somebody comes across this and they get some value out of that, you know, to me that's a plus. You know, I had a kid, because I'm back on like a video kick again because I realized like I haven't done them in a while, and I had a kid comment, I don't even know who this kid is, but this kid commented, he's like, yo man, whenever I'm feeling down, I turn on one of your videos, and I'm like, do I know this guy? You know, I don't know this guy, but like that fired me up. I was like, that's awesome, you know, because that means that like you're actually like you're giving value, and that's what a lot of people will tell you. It's just like you got to give value. You got to give value back to the marketplace. You got to give to, you know, you got to you know, that's how people connect with you. You know, and they're not going to connect with you if you're just spamming links or if you're just doing what everybody else is doing. You know what I mean? You have to be able to stand out. You got to get comfortable standing out. You have to be comfortable. Like literally, I was having this conversation with Matt a while ago, and it was just like, you know, it's like life is a stage. You know, it's like everything you do, like you're on stage all the time. And it's literally, it's like, would you watch the show that you're performing? You know what I mean? If you're giving a boring show, and you wouldn't watch the show that you're performing, what makes you think anybody else is going to want to watch the show? At the same time, though, if it's a good show, and this doesn't have to be like really hypey reality TV show. This could be an educational show. This could be, just don't make it a drama show. But I've seen some people become very successful with drama show marketing. So it's like you got to pick and choose like what you're comfortable with, what you're, really what what your strengths are. Don't focus so much on your weaknesses. Focus more on your strengths. And if you just literally just work on your strengths and just develop those to get better and better and better and better, you will be complete. You know what I mean? You will be a complete marketer. Because all the technical stuff, guys, you'll learn that throughout time. And all it takes is a little bit of literally just sitting in front of your computer and figuring it out. It's technical stuff. It's the same thing as learning to do anything. You know what I mean? But what's cool about it is, like, generally speaking, like, once you set up the technical stuff, you're golden. You don't really have to do it 150 times over. You know what I mean? But your marketing, that's a whole different thing. Okay, like your marketing, who you're talking to, the message that you're portraying, the value that you're giving, that in and of itself is the real secret to this, if there is a secret. Does that make sense? Because that's kind of where I'm at right now. It's really just like give back. Don't just keep it all in your head. Just like give back, give some value, teach some cool stuff. Inspire some people, connect with people, and people will want to connect with you.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, in the end, that's what it's all about. And if people can't trust you, if they can't resonate with you, if they don't feel comfortable with you, they're not going to buy from you. And Chris kind of brought that up over the weekend. He said that if you think about it, when you have conversations with your friends, you're open, you're comfortable, you can communicate with them very easily. He said what you have to do is, when you communicate to a camera, you have to put yourself in that mindset and be talking to the one person that's on the other side of the camera that resonates with you, that is your friend, right? Just like you're talking to a friend. And that was a really valuable point from this weekend, was for people, and I'm that way. I'm not comfortable behind a camera because I don't think I'm any good, but that's something that I have to get over, because I resonate. I have lots of friends. I have people that I'm very comfortable talking to, and so you have to get into that mindset. And that's how you're going to build rapport. That's how you're going to build trust, and that's how you build a converting back end of your funnel, right? So some of this is about creating a process to get people into your funnel and for them to be able to sort of move through the funnel. But ultimately, if they don't buy at that very moment when they see your offer, your sales video, you still have to resonate with them on the backside. And the beauty of this epic story funnel is that there's really not a lot of structured contact after the fact, right? There's like 7 days worth of context, 10 days worth of contact that's structured, like in an autoresponder series. After that, everything is just sending your list to your blog posts, and that's it. Because the reality is that I forget what the numbers are, but if they haven't converted within that 7 to 10 day time period, after they've seen the sales video, the chances of them converting go way down. And so that's really what you've got to be thinking about. And a lot of people say build your list, build your list, build your list, and that's important. But it's important for other things mostly. It's important for sending them affiliate offers for other products or tools or whatever, somewhere down the line if they don't buy your primary offer. But you have to get comfortable, and you have to get good at building a funnel that frames people properly into the offer that you want to send them to. So anyway, that's kind of the deal. So I was going to cover this other stuff. You guys have any other sort of quick thoughts before I do this?
I'll say one last thing, make it quick.
Okay.
A lot of people don't use their story because they think that they have this belief that it's boring, doesn't matter, who can relate to me, I didn't go through anything dramatic or traumatic, that it's not worth it. That's not true. You have to believe in yourself. I have to believe that someone, somewhere out there in this great big planet we call Earth, someone's going to relate to it, and they will reach out to you, and they will love you for it. Because like we sat there as Chris showed us his story, and I'm sitting there looking at all the comments that he had. A lot of people, I was in disbelief. A lot of people read his story, and a lot of them said, "Oh my gosh, this is my story. Oh my gosh, going through the same thing. Oh my gosh, it's my story." And none of them had lived his experience. He's writing about how he was broken down, how he was a broke, bankrupt real estate. I can't think of the person. Real estate, not investor. What's the word I'm looking for, John? It's what?
Agent.
Yeah, thank you, agent. Real estate agent. Cold. It's cold up in Alaska. Going through crap. The deal's falling through. Had moved down to Colorado. He had to support his two nephews, niece nephews, and he wants to start online business. And two of his deals fell through, which he was thinking he was going to get like 15K in commissions, and they both fell through. And he had nothing. Had to be renting bills, and people are looking at his story, and they're like, "Oh my God, it's me! Oh my God, it's me!" And I'm sitting there like, really? They all think this? And it's not even their story. It's not even their challenges. But the point is, you gotta believe in yourself and believe that somewhere, someone out there is gonna relate to you and jump out. So, that being said, that's all I gotta say. John, you're gonna move on to what you're gonna show us with the personality test, is it?
Okay, cool. Yeah, and real quick, just to follow up on that, that's a really good point, Matt. Um, there's something we've all experienced in this business, and that's we've had shitty traffic, right? We've bought Facebook ads, we bought ads from solo ad providers, we bought X, Y, Z. I think 99.99% of marketers have tried the paid marketing route at some point, and it's frustrating. Just think about that. That's one story that you can talk to people about. That's one of your frustrations, and you can illustrate to them how you've solved that. You may not have solved that immediately, but you solved that by building a funnel around that story of struggle, right? That's just one idea, one example of something that you guys can use to make that happen. So anyway, so real quick, I wanted to show you guys something. You guys may have seen a couple weeks ago, I signed up for a book, basically, called the Strengths Finder 2.0. It's essentially a series that's put together by the Gallup organization. And it was designed to help people kind of identify their personality strengths. I don't know if you guys really saw that or not, but I'm going to show you what I came up with out of this, and I think this fits very well into the funnel process, because what it does is it identifies your natural, identifiable strengths, personality strengths that are the very core of your existence. And when I went through this, it's like I forget how long it is. It's maybe a 5-minute online thing, and all the questions are timed like 20 seconds long, so you have to answer them fast. And the reason they do that is they want you to look at the question and immediately relate to the question, so that they're getting the very core of your thinking, right? So that's kind of what it goes through. So it's like 100 and some questions, and they all are timed, and you go through this thing, And when everything's all said and done, it spits out a report. So I'm going to pull this up here, and you guys can take a look at this. It's pretty mind-blowing stuff. So hang on. Tell me if you guys can see my screen. You guys see that okay?
No, I just see your face.
You see my face?
Mm-hmm.
Where are we here? That should work.
It's there.
Okay. So here is the output from my survey. And essentially what it does is it breaks down your personality strengths into 5 key components. And you know, these are sort of numbered in order of strength, but as you kind of read through, these can change over time. But essentially my top 5 themes are futuristic, competition, ideation, strategic, and maximizer, which, you know, after you read through this, I'm going, holy crap, this is me. So let me kind of scroll down here and you can kind of see what this looks like. So it talks about what each one of those means. So futuristic essentially is, you know, somebody who's inspired by what could be. Obviously, you know, when I was growing up, I used to be super interested in space exploration and all of that kind of stuff. So this fits very well with how I've always been throughout my entire life. But you know, kind of shows you what each one of those means. It also tells you what you know, what kinds of people might be better for you to work with, who can relate to that kind of personality strength. It's incredible, you guys, and so I really encourage you guys to get this. It's like a $10 ebook, and I'll show that to you here in a second. But it gives you all of your strengths, and then you've got this output, and of course then you can refer back to the book, because the book goes into much more detail about what each one of these means, how you can best utilize them to your benefit. And the point of this is that you can use this as part of your funnel process. So as we talk about, you know, you resonating with people, you can use this as a way to basically tell your story, tell people what your strengths are, so that again you can attract the right kind of people into your business, into your life, you know, whatever it is. So, you know, and you can just see, I don't know if you guys can see that, but this detailed report here was what, 18 pages long, and then, you know, it also comes with you know, a summary sheet as well, but it also gives you examples. So this was one interesting one. Let me see if I can find it in so competition. So, you know, that's one of my themes is competition. So one of they actually had a quote in here from Sumner Redstone, who's the chairman of Viacom, and he basically was talking about, you know, what sort of how he resonates, I guess, within that competition theme. So it gives you real life examples of what people say and how they kind of respond to that within their jobs. Now, clearly, you know, they're using this tool for corporate environments to sort of identify strengths and personalities within, you know, teams and high-level executives and corporate teams and that kind of stuff. But we can easily use that within not only our team here, but you guys can use that as a way to resonate with people, you know, that you attract into your business. I mean, you could actually spring, you know, for $10 with somebody who signs up with you under, you know, iPass or Empower or anything else. You can give this to them as kind of a giveaway tool, a freemium to join, you know, joining your team. So here's where you can get this thing. Can you guys see that? That Amazon.com.
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay, cool. So this is what it looks like. I just downloaded it. I don't own a Kindle per se, but I have I have Kindle. I have the Kindle app on my mobile phone, and you can get the Kindle app on your desktop as well. So the Kindle price is $10, and what happens is you download the ebook, and then once you have the ebook, it'll give you some links inside to go to with essentially like a coupon code, and that'll take you to the test. You could take the test for free, and away you go. So I highly, highly recommend this thing for you guys. It's probably, I mean, it's just like, it's incredible value for $10. Incredible, I think. So, so anyway, that's the scoop on that. Let me go back here and get out of this. Okay, cool. All right, so you guys have any questions on that? Matt, Max, I don't know if you guys see any value in that, but I'm telling you,
it's kind of like the archetypes thing that I was showing everybody a couple months ago.
exactly.
Yeah, and it's weird. It's like once you get a full pseudo kind of evaluation on yourself, like it's like I was saying, it's like your strengths, you know who you can connect with, and like kind of just like it's good to understand yourself in general, and it's like it's hard to. I just know this. It's like when I got really good at sales, like I understood myself fully. It's like when I got really good at like just being comfortable being me, it was because I understood myself like fully. And it was like I was telling you, John. It's like, I think it was last night, right? I was like
Right.
I'm obnoxious, and I can totally, and I'm just random, so I'm just like, I'm gonna stop trying to not be that guy for a while, you know what I mean, just period, because that's who I am, that's who I've always been, and it's just like, why would I try to stop being that random obnoxious guy, if that's what I'm really good at, especially if it's like, if some people really enjoy my random obnoxiousness. Not everybody does, but hey man, you can't please everybody, so yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It's pretty powerful. It was powerful for me, and that was actually, I was put onto that by another guy that I'm working with, one of these traffic dudes, high-level traffic dudes that I've got contact with through Vic. And the reason he wanted to find out was, he felt, and I felt this immediately the first time I met him. It felt like, when you meet someone, you kind of feel simpatico with somebody, and so he asked me to go through it just to kind of see, and sure enough, 3 out of the 5 characteristics are things that we share together. So, so that's really what I'm talking about, is that use these tools, and they're very inexpensive, to your benefit, and create the kinds of funnels, the kinds of things that you need in your life to have success. I think that's where we've all been struggling. We've been trying to do the same thing. We've been, just trying to be a member of the herd, and I think that that's the wrong way to do this. So that's what we've learned over the last 2 or 3 or 4 weeks. That's actually something, a basic thing that I learned back in November, and so this is just something that we have to perfect from here on out. If you guys want to have success, follow these methods. I guarantee you they will have success. Matt talked about it. He's talked to some high-level people. I've talked to high-level people. This is what leaders are doing in their business to have success. And so anyway, with that, that's
One
pretty much
last thing is,
everything I got.
and if I'm sure you guys all heard the announcement today, you have 3 or 4 blogs available now that you can basically use to tweak your story, or like basically you've got 3, 4. I'm not sure if it's 3 or 4. I haven't actually checked my back office yet, but now you have options. It's not like, well, what if I want to talk about this? What I want to talk about that? You can literally have like, basically like 3 different blogs running at the same time, and each one of them kind of catered to a different niche, different market, a different, a different group, which is perfect. I've been waiting for this, and now it's available. So as soon as we get off of this, I'm going to start setting up my other 2 or 3 new blogs that are going to be fantastic, because this is actually all I've been waiting for. So, with that being said, guys, listen. Just get focused. You know what I mean? Get focused and really figure out like what you want. Okay, what you want, who you want to connect with, and who you are and who you're going to resonate with, because that really is the most important thing. You know what I mean? That really is the most important thing. The rest of the stuff is all, it's all we've been doing. And it's like, but I think once you have a clear vision and a clear belief in what you're doing, you're going to attract the right people, and that's what this is all about. You know what I mean? That attracting the right to yourself, to your business, really just into your life. And that's what I found. You know what I mean? It's like negative people attract negative people, fired up people attract fired up people. Saying positive people attract positive people, motivated people attract motivated people. And it's like, and you're not going to get all of those people. And realistically, you don't want to get all those people. So, you want to work with people that are gonna work, the same way you work. So if you're really, really motivated, you're gonna get really, really motivated people. You know what I mean? If you're real high energy, you're gonna get real high energy people. You know what I mean? If you're not super high energy, you're gonna get, some not super high energy people. That doesn't mean that they won't produce, though. You know what I mean? They're just not gonna be like loud and ridiculous. So just realize that. Just get comfortable being you. And I'm going to leave it at that. Enjoy your hump day.
Bada bing, bada boom, ladies and gentlemen, that is it. Look, say it like this. We all own the product. For those of you, you need to get this. If you really want to learn how to stand out, regardless of what you do, because you're leading your story, you're leading with yourself, you're selling you, you're selling your struggles, the things you've been through, the ups and downs, your emotions to people, that's what people buy. That's who they join. That's who they're going to run with. It's you. On the back end is whatever else you want to sell. That's it. The whole thing is customized to be based off of you and your target market and how you relate to them, how you're helping them, and really how you're helping each other create what they want and in their lives. Plain and simple. So with that being said, folks, get with me. You can get with Evan. Get with John, get with Max, or even with Scott, who was there too. We all own this product, and it's really hands down the missing link to this industry. I believe that. I say that with 100% certainty, because the thing, because as you said here, you see everything come out. Oh, this new product, and there's this, and this strategy, and this strategy, and this, and it's like it's so information overload, and then you always say, be yourself. Put you in there. Well. When people only get to know you within like a minute video. No, tell your story. Buy the product. Again, with me, John, Mike, Max, Evan, or Scott, and get the epic story funnel and create your epic story today. With that being said, folks, good night. Peace.